check. Okay. I am wearing a trippy shirt again. That's interesting. Hi, Mom. Isn't that cool? But, guys, all jokes aside, we are into Champion Select. I do apologize. It already started. This is Week 8 of the LCS with Who Cares up against the Shrekoning. Now, both of these teams, if I'm not mistaken, are still incredibly competitive for making it into the playoffs. Oops, I have my Twitch open. So this game is super important. Let me look up the stats right now as they start picking some champions. From what I can tell, the Shrekoning is 7-7, and Dictator's Winions are at the top of the leaderboard, 9-5. So actually, both teams, Shrekoning definitely not comfortable at all, and honestly, the Dictator's Winions not that comfortable either. Both teams would love a win here because that puts them in prime position to get a playoff spot. Yesterday, we saw another team that was 9-5 play against a 7-7 team, and they lost. It was Baronet Galaners who lost to No Life Gamers, which keeps the leaderboard very close. There isn't a single team right now with 10 wins. So Dictator Series Winions would love to pick that up right now, get that 10th win in, and be the only team to have that lead, if only for a moment. Talk about the picks and bans right now. Saggy Charwick on that Thresh, Hoyer Tarkin on Tristana. Actually, other way around. They picked up Tristana and Warwick. Ooh, that's an incredibly strong champion in the 420 patch. Definitely the one of the best champions in the game, if not the single best. And it's really going to be interesting to see how they use it. I don't think Remy has played Warwick. Not entirely sure. One second, guys. I'm trying to work something else out. So where were we? Pick some bands. All right. Peric Shadow on his Katarina. Ooh, that wasn't banned out. They banned out Leona and Sona. So they very much targeted PPC Master and then also Callista against High Buddy. Or maybe just in general, she's an incredibly strong champion at the moment. So definitely doing some work there. And actually, Dictator Series Winnie is responding in kind with a triple ban against Dyslexic. Yes, Dyslexic is a huge carry for their team, but they cannot underestimate Jamali's carry potential, especially on Akali. He's had so many good games in the LCS so far with Akali, and I would like to see him lock it in. Interestingly enough, so if Remy's going to go Warwick jungle, they're going to have Zillion in the mid lane, unless it's Thresh mid lane, which would be too crazy for me. But, interesting. The damage for Dictators, or for the Shrekoning is much more spread apart, except for that Tristana. So the 80 carry still doing a lot of damage. Dyslexic is going to fill much more of a utility role, and I actually really like that pick with a Warwick, Zillion Warwick, because you can speed Warwick up, and then Warwick can just jump on anything and absolutely destroy it. And speaking of Warwick, you have to look, whenever you have Warwick on your team, you have to look at what the enemy is playing, and I am actually shocked that Peric Shadow did play Katarina into this Warwick pick. I mean, I know he's very comfortable with it, but that is going to be so hard to pull off because the moment he engages, it is entirely possible that Warwick can just screw him over. We'll see how that works out. And then, of course, PPC Master loves playing Sona, loves playing Leona. We have not seen him on Janna, I think, in the UVL so far. Maybe 1 or 2 games. I know that's also, he has a trifecta of supports, and PPC Master definitely loves playing Janna as well. 5-9 on Pantheon, that's pretty standard. So, Dictator Series Winions pretty much playing all their comfort champions we've seen them play before in the LCS. And I mean, it's done very well for them so far. They are 9-5, technically first place, tied with Black Turtles. Although after a couple of games tonight, that probably will change. But yeah, whereas, so their Dictator Series Winions are going with a tried and true composition. All champions we've seen before. Not much to say there. They're just going to want to engage when they can with Malphite Pantheon, and then peel. PPC Master is going to want to peel High Buddy and Pyrrhic Shadow. That's going to be a really annoying lane for the bot lane of the Shrekoning to play against, so we'll see if they do any lane swaps. But looking at the Shrekoning's composition, Jamali definitely has played Akali before, and he's phenomenal on it. Hoyer, targeted Sagittaric, both champions we've seen before, incredibly strong as well. Tristana's late game scaling potential is always scary, but Dyslexic and Remy playing Warwick and Zillion is something we really haven't seen before, and I'm curious to see how it works, because they have had pretty good teamwork. Remy's definitely sort of a more supportive jungler and does support his top and mid lane a lot. I mean, Warwick is strong, but he's not just easy wins. He has a really weak pre-6, and Finite on that Pantheon is going to be very strong early game. So we'll see how that works out. Alright guys, sorry that the Champion Select happened to be so short. Obviously, we were a little bit late, but I'm going to get a quick drink of water before this game starts, so I will be ready to go, and I will leave you guys with some music. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are loaded in. Remember, this is Designer Shoe Warehouse versus Shrek. No, I'm just kidding. This is the Shrekoning, captained by Dyslexic, versus Dictator Sue's Winions, captained by Finite, aka Dictator Bill Sue. Dictator Sue's Winions are 9-5, and if they win this game, they are looking very pretty for the playoffs. But the Shrekoning themselves are 7-7. And if they win this game, they would also be making a very strong statement to the leaderboard. I mean, at this point, just how the game is set up, there are two teams right now that are 9-5. They have yet to play 2 games. Like, they still need to play 2 games this week, and one of those is the teams here. So those teams are definitely going to try and go 2-0 this week to basically secure themselves a spot in the playoffs, since there are still 2 games to play next week. But for now, the only thing that matters is this game. It looks like generally what the starts are now is that the top side or purple side will go the Frog. I think it's called the Gromp. And Brambleback is this guy, right? It doesn't even say so. I think red buff is Brambleback. Usually I see Pantheon's doing double golems, but probably not going to be a huge problem. Nice thing about Pantheon in the jungle is he has that Aegis of Legion protection, so he will be doing alright. He doesn't have sustain necessarily, but he's not going to take too much damage from those hits, whereas Warwick has a lot of sustain, so he'll probably be pretty healed for most of the jungle. Curious to see if Pantheon's going to decide to gank with that extra HP, or if he's just going to recall, like you see a lot of sort of fighter-esque junglers do, like Kha'Zix, for example. Used to be very good, but now has a couple of problems in jungle since he does need to recall early. Something else I'm looking forward to is this Akali pickup by Jamali. He had an incredible game against 2 carries 2 weeks ago, and he has not had a unimpressive game so far in this Akali pickup. The bans were all targeted against Dyslexic this game, and as a result, oh, hi buddy, gets hooked by Hoary Target under turret. Gonna take a lot of damage here. Double knockup from PPC Master means that the engage is off. That would have been even better had Hoyer Tarkin been level 2 for the Flay in, but Hi Buddy getting a little bit lucky there. I mean, they pushed their advantage well. Needs to be careful, though. If he gets hooked again, he's going to be in big trouble. But yeah, back to what I was talking about before. Dyslexic on Zillion is something we haven't seen in the UVA LCS so far. So Dictator Sue's Winions, I'm curious to see if this ban is going to work for them. The flash in from Pyrrhic Shadow is going to take Dyslexic very, very low. First blood goes over. Dyslexic flashed away and still goes down. Pyrrhic Shadow actually 1v1ing Dyslexic. That is bad news for Zillion, especially because Katarina should not be very strong early game. So as I mentioned before, Dyslexic being put on champions he's not very comfortable with, definitely paying dividends right now for Dictator Sue's Winions. Alright, enough of that Twitch chat. Dictator, don't make me demod you. No, back to the game right now. first blood did go over to Ferric Shadow in that mid lane, so he's going to have a nice bit of gold to go back with. Dimmer X is actually going to get ganked out by Remy. Remy walked over a ward. Dimmer X, did you notice? I don't think he did. Remy doesn't have that much gank potential. No real CC other than that red buff slow. Dimmer X probably just going to walk away. Yep, too tanky. Malphite is just has an unbelievable amount of tankiness early game, especially against Akali Warwick with no ultimate, so I'm going to not do enough damage to get that kill. And actually, Finite going to capitalize on this Warwick roam in the top lane by getting Dragon. Very nice stuff to Dictator Sue's Winions. Getting a 5-minute Dragon is so huge. Warrior Tarkin actually needs to be careful. PPC Master has the mana for slow, but hasn't leveled it up yet, which means he needs to land his knockup to make this gank work. Warrior Tarkin's going to get knocked up. Heal going down. Finite. Warrior Tarkin barely makes it through the traps, and then High Buddy actually now getting caught. Oh my goodness. Exhaust onto Sagittarius, and it looks like no one's going to go down. But Summoners burned from both sides. Warrior Tarkin used his flash, and PPC Master used his exhaust. So surprisingly not the worst turn of events for the Shrekoning, considering they were in a 2v3 situation. They both made it out more or less alive without having to waste that much. I mean, flash on Warrior Target is a big deal, but they might be able to just ward up that Tribush and ward up River, and then they should be okay. We'll have to see, though, if they do decide to fight, which I wouldn't recommend. Pantheon gank coming in as well as a teleport from Dimmer X could be very bad for them. But honestly, I think they're okay with farming. They're getting out CS, but Tristana's so good late game that if she's losing early to a cake game, to a certain extent, that's acceptable. Ferric Shadow right now bullying Dyslexic out. That is definitely not something you want to see. Dyslexic might have the XP advantage simply because of his passive, but no, actually, Ferric Shadow just gets 6 as I say that. So this gives Dictator Sue's Winions a lot of options. Dyslexic probably can't kill Ferric Shadow 1v1. Does not even have his tier yet, so can't be stacking that up. Remy, I think, is going to try and help him out once he gets 6. We see him doing crab right now. He's close to 5, but not 6 quite yet. While Finite just hit 4. So wow, these new jungle camps, it is rough to get experience in the new jungle. That is absolutely for sure. Right now, though, it's looking like Shrekoning are going to be on the back pedal, or the foot is on the back pedal. Jamali's doing well in his lane right now. He's up 15 CS. That's equal to around a kill and worth of gold. So that's very, very nice. But to a certain extent, the utility that Malphite provides is different from the damage that Akali does. If Jamali goes down early in fights, then it doesn't really matter. Whereas Malphite is going to be so incredibly tanky and have really good utility for his team. So a CS lead in the top lane might not make a huge difference. However, Finite doesn't even want Jamali to have a little bit of CS lead. Is starting to roam into this top lane. He's going to be level 4 against Jamali's level 6. Dimmer X is about halfway to 6, so he's not going to get his ultimate up in time. Unless they go for the gank now. Jamali has 1 stack, uses that invisibility, and jumps onto Finite. Takes a lot of damage here, but probably should be okay. Poke down, has 1 more potion, so might decide to stay in that lane. Dyslexic actually gets engaged on. Finite, what are you going to do now? He knows that he has to make a play, ideally before Warwick gets 6. And both of his solo lanes are pushing more or less. Dyslexic might get caught out here. Finite has flash available. Dyslexic is pretty low, but does have that rewind ultimate. Jamali is 2 levels above Dimmer X. Wow, that is kind of a strange EXP variance. I'm surprised how that happened. Or curious to see how that happened. Ouch. And this ball, and Remy has flash and has his ultimate now, so Lantern coming in from Warrior Tarkin to Remy. Who are they going to go for? He goes for, I think it's going to be PPC Master, because High Buddy got too far away, and High Buddy actually gets hooked while PPC Master gets ulted. There is no communication. PPC Master will flash away and gets out alive. And unfortunate from... Oh, geez. High Buddy has to flash away. Actually, Caitlyn ultimate goes down. Warrior Tarkin goes down. The turnaround 2v3. Sagittarius is now in huge trouble. Finite's going to gank. Flashes away. Remy's there. Remy's caught out now. Pyrrhic Shadow roams in the bot lane as well. Can he pick up more than one kill here? It looks like he might be able to the resets, but Cat is still tanking. Does get the reset, and can he get out? And yes, he does. Amazing Cat mechanics and really good turnaround from Dictator Sue's Winions. In a situation that could have been a potential kill for the Shrekoning, they picked up 3 kills of their own. Absolutely phenomenal play. $2,000 gold ahead now. And a 3-0 Katarina. That is definitely not something you want to see with this Reckoning. Their team composition wants to get to the late game, to be honest. I mean, Akali is okay mid-game, and Zillion as well. But champions like Warwick and like Tristana don't mind farming for 6 items and then fighting. But they're probably not going to have that choice now. Dimmer X has his ultimate teleport and flash available. And flashes down on Sagi Charik and Aremi for the Shrekoning, so that is definitely dangerous. Katarina gank into the top lane. Jameli uses invisibility, gonna try and kill Dimmer X. Does pick up a kill. Can he get away though? I don't think he can. He gets his invisibility charge, but actually the Shroud betrayed him and does go down. Pyrrhic Shadow now. I don't think he's gonna have any problem picking up this kill, but Jameli's gonna try and run away. Pantheon ult actually comes in just to make sure. But Pyrrhic Shadow is now on a rampage. Finite is gonna be the top lane, so they'll probably push it out. But this gives time for the Shrekoning actually to make a play towards Dragon. Pantheon ultimate is down, and they know that. Remy's going to take a lot of damage here from this Dragon. And the bot lane of the Winions is converging. Remy, did he just use Smite? Yes, he did. Oh my goodness, what a mistake, potentially. Oh, jeez. Tristana will pick up that kill. Good stuff to Sagi Charik there, but that was super risky. PPC Master now a little bit of trouble. Remy's going to be taken low, actually. They could fight 2v3. Hook does miss. And Aremi might go down here. He does. Oh my goodness. Hi Buddy's an absolute sniper with those ultimates, as they still are focusing PPC Master, but he still has his ult and exhaust. He's not going to go down here. And they might just decide to turn. Teleport coming in from Jameli. Is that going to be what they want? Teleport from Dimmer X as well. And Jameli actually walks over a trap and then gets ulted away. So I think that's going to be it for now. But we see more actions. Pyrrhic Shadow and Finite are looking to gank this bot lane, maybe dive. No, Jameli gets stunned up immediately. Going to take a chunk of damage. Puts the Shroud on himself, but is going to go down. And dive coming out of the Winions. And this, or onto the Winions. No, from the Winions, I was right. And this is absolutely awful for the Shrekoning. They are just getting totally outplayed. Dictator Sue's Winions now 9-1, 4,000 gold ahead. Fantastic rotations coming out of the Winions. And Katarina 5-0-0. This is why Katarina is banned in the UVLCS. Our mid laners, I mean, they chose Warwick and Thresh, 2 good champions that can CC her down, but the Pyrrhic Shadow got so far ahead before Warwick really had a period of effectiveness. I mean, he's alright right now, but he's 0-2-0. He's going to be doing so much less than Pantheon, and probably just doesn't have this capability to stop Katarina, especially now that he went double Null Magic Mantle. I don't even know what the item builds are anymore in Null Magic Mantle, so that might be a good decision. That might be a misclick. But that just means that Warwick, Akali, and Zillion are going to do so little damage. And since Tristana is so far behind anyway, since A, she's Tristana, and B, she got Shreked in lane, this is going to be so hard. This Katarina is going to be so hard to kill for the Shrekoning. Almost 5,000 gold ahead now. It is pretty much entirely up to the Dictator Sue's Winions to dictate the pace of this game. Gank coming in from Aremi. They might be able to kill Dimmer X. I honestly don't even know if they have the damage right now. Ping's coming out, so they probably know he's there. Pyrrhic Shadow is actually looking to make a pick. Aremi's red buff is down, so he's not going to find him there. But a little bit of roaming from PPC Master, who might just try and get a kill on Dyslexic. Dimmer X fighting Jameli in top lane. Dimmeric's going to run away. Now Warwick speed up is on, and Dyslexic actually goes down. Dimeric is going to ult himself out. Does manage to stay alive. Is Dyslexic looking to get tower dove? Pyrrhic Shadow and PPC Master are there. The dive onto Dyslexic. Tons of damage coming out from Pyrrhic Shadow. Dyslexic has his ultimate available. Oh, man. He did not use his ultimate. He's probably not going to be happy about that. Huge misplay from Dyslexic. Now 10-1 in kills. And Pantheon ultimate coming in the top lane. Pyrrhic Shadow's roaming. Remy's going to take a lot of damage. Has to flash out into Melee's tower diving. But you do not want to tower dive Finite right now. He is so tanky with that Aegis. And actually, the ult turnaround. Can they even get one kill? Yes, they do onto Pantheon. But Pyrrhic Shadow surely going to pick up more. 7-0-1 on this Katarina now. As Pyrrhic Shadow picks up a double kill as he got the reset. So I said about 2 minutes ago that Dictator Sue's Winions can call all the shots, and as you saw, I mean, Remy tried to force some... They just tried to call their own shots, and they can't. They're so far behind that any sort of proactive plays they make are just going to be absolutely countered by the roaming potential of this Fed Katarina and then Finite on Pantheon. So this is such a tough game. They're so far behind. Red buff on High Buddy, he's going to do a lot of damage to Dyslexic. Is that his red buff? Yeah, that is. But Dictator Sue's Winions is now going to try and push this blue buff. Pyrrhic Shadow and Finite need to rotate over. Finite does not have his ultimate available. So at the moment, it's kind of a fight advantage for the Winions. Or for... Oh my god. Nope. It's a numbers advantage for... Oh my god. Numerically, it was a 4v3, so that was in favor of the Shrekoning. Rest in peace, Rex. But as you can see, that Katarina is just so atrociously fed that I literally can't keep up. Like, I can't cast this. Please ban Pyrrhic Shadow. Please ban Pyrrhic Shadow's Katarina. I don't ever want to see this again. Oh my goodness. Dictator Sue's Winions, after recently acquiring their sponsorship from Designer Shoe Warehouse. Taki Chark going to take a lot of damage here. Zillion ultimate comes out and a hook from Horitarkin goes completely the wrong way as Finite does flash out. The flash in from Dyslexic. High Buddy misses, not in Caliber Net, has to flash in. Katarina's coming. Run. Actually, sitting on a lot of gold. Might not want to fight here. Oh man. Pantheon comes around and Pyrrhic Shadow is ulted by a Remy. Do they have the damage? Is it going to get resets? 1 kill, 2 kill, 2 resets, double kill so far. Pyrrhic Shadow is going to be looking for more. Gets triple kill. Can he get the Penta? Quadra? No! Scumbag Malphite. Oh my goodness, Pyrrhic Shadow. Come on, man. Dimmer X with the scumbag kill. Pyrrhic Shadow doesn't get the Penta, but that basically is going to be close enough. Seals the deal. Pyrrhic Shadow has more gold than any 2 members of the Shrekoning combined. And almost as much gold as the support and like mid laner and AD carry. This is definitely a rough game. Winions now gonna pick up this dragon. No opportunity to contest it seems like, as the Shrekoning are 10,000 gold behind in 18 minutes. Pushing power, not the greatest buff, but oh man, maybe they're going to fight here. Horitarkin is going to land a good hook onto High Buddy, and Pyrrhic Shadow is actually really low. This might be a good fight for the Shrekoning. High Buddy is going to go down. Pyrrhic Shadow, can he get a Penta this time? Gets a triple kill. Holy crap. 2 quadra kills, 1 game? Oh, Finite took the kill just to be safe, but a 1-for-4 fight. And Pyrrhic Shadow now has 4,000 gold when he recalls. Yikes. Pyrrhic Shadow now finishes Zonia's and Abyssal Scepter, picks up a needlessly large rod. So not only is going to be doing a ton of damage, but has a remarkable defense as well. He probably is tankier. Yeah, he's tankier than Warwick right now. Oh my goodness. We have not... I mean, I was heralding how close all the teams are. Hi, buddy. 1v1ing Dyslexic. But Dictator Sue's Winions, being 9-5, definitely don't want to be lumped in the same category as the 7-7 Shrekoning. They are playing miles above them, and the engage coming out from Dyslexic, he has no flash available, is going to go down before... he doesn't even have ultimate up there. Hoyer Tarkin goes down as well. Finite look to pick up some kills. Pyrrhic Shadow with the flash in. Is legendary Zonius himself. I don't even know if he needed to. That might have been just for swag, but 3 kills picked up for Designer Shoe Warehouse. Just kidding, the Winions, as they are definitely Winioning this game. Dimmer is tanking up the turret, but the laser is too weak. And it looks like he has some energy shield on him or something. As Finite has a Janna shield. Gonna be able to tank it up. Gonna be taken pretty low, actually. Jameli might try to make a last-ditch effort here. As Shrekoning is slowly respawning, Jameli pops that Shroud, and the ultimate from Pyrrhic Shadow is going to force him to flash. Caitlyn, he's surely going to go down. Hi Buddy picks up another kill. Pyrrhic Shadow now going in again. Double kill for Caitlyn. Can he get a triple? No. Katarina takes that. Zillion ultimate is popped. And this is probably just going to be game for the Winions. Remy's going to ult Hi Buddy, and there the FF vote.